Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be among my people, accountants, finance professional, and what have you. I'm so glad to be here this evening. And I want to say a very big thank you to the organizers of this wonderful forum or wonderful event, the Finance Leadership Forum. So my name is Omobabiri Adeola Oshideko. I I am an accountant. I work with Africa Development Bank here in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. But apart from accounting, there's something else that I love to do. I love to speak. I grew up as a young girl who loves to talk. And you know the way it is in Africa, when a young girl is just talking, they want to shut her up and say, shut up, stop talking. You are even a girl, the way it is, girls are not supposed to talk and all that. So I grew up not really being a talkative, but I knew right inside of me, I have the ability to speak to people. I have the ability to talk. So when I grew up, I discovered that there's so more to me than accounting. There's so much more to me than just pressing figures, preparing balance sheet, statement of financial statement of income, and what have you. I discovered that I can do more. I have more. And that is why I dived into the coaching industry. And that is why I became a coach. I am a personal development coach and a branding coach. I teach people how to develop themselves personally outside their job and also how to brand themselves. Having said all that, I'm here this evening to talk to us about personal branding for career professionals. And I'm going to be more specific about finance professionals. So what is branding? I know that all of us would have come across the word branding before, but we don't really understand because we are used to calculating balance sheets and statements of financial statements, cash flow, reports. We are just used to figures. So anything outside figures, we are not interested. Branding is simply your perception, how people perceive you. Whether you're an accountant, you're an engineer, you're a caterer, you're a fashion designer, you're an architect, you're anything, you need to consider branding because branding is the way people perceive you. Now, there's one thing about perception. People will perceive you the way you present yourself. If I don't tell you I am an accountant, probably you might not know because you just see me. They did not write it anywhere on my head that I am an accountant. So you will not know. How will you know I'm an accountant? Except I open my mouth to tell you that, oh, I am an accountant, or you read it somewhere, or you come across it anywhere that can signify that I'm an accountant. So that boils down to the fact that you as an individual, if you don't tell people who you are, you as an accountant, you as a finance professional, if you don't tell people who you are, they will not know. And they will create their own perception about you. So if you want people to know who you are, it is your responsibility to communicate your values, to communicate your skills, to communicate your expertise. A lot of us as finance professionals, we kept complaining, oh, I am not promoted. They are not considering me for promotion. But how many people knows what you can do? Because all you do is hide behind your laptop, prepare reports and send. By the time they ask you to come and defend the report, probably there is a board meeting and they call upon you to come and analyze the report. You're always like, oh, let another person go and do it. I don't like presenting. You're always judging. What you're doing is you are killing your brand. You are not showing to people that there's something inside of you carry. For instance, if you are given the opportunity to present a report that you have prepared, you are able to communicate your values. You are able to communicate your skills. That you know what, it's not that I just know how to prepare these figures on Excel, but I can actually analyze them. It's not enough for you to calculate ROI, to calculate net margin, to calculate this and that. It's also enough for you to know the interpretation of those figures. By the time they call upon you in a board meeting or in a management meeting and say, okay, this report is prepared, can you just kindly go through it and, just take us through it? And you're like, oh no, I want someone else. I don't like presenting. You are killing your brand. You are not giving people the perception to know who you are, to know what you can do, to know your skills, your ability, and your expertise. So you can be there on that same table for years and nobody will know you can do some things. And that boils to the fact that even in meetings, a lot of us, we go to meetings and we just keep quiet. Like, after the whole meeting, they ask, oh, do you have any question? Who has any question for us? You're just there sitting down, no question. Any suggestion, nothing. You just keep quiet. And you want your boss to recommend you for promotion. It will be hard. Because even your boss, beyond the calculations you do for your boss does not know the other skills that you possess. For instance, communication skill, etiquette, dining skills. There's so many skills. Analytical skill, decision-making skills. There are so many soft skills that you possess, public speaking skills that you need to show. So that is just the brief background of what branding is all about. Now, there's this definition about branding. Branding is the process of you identifying your potentials or your values. Is a process. And that's why we call it branding. Branding is a continuous sentence. That means as long as you're working as a finance professional, you owe yourself that duty to brand yourself. So branding is the process of identifying your skills, your values, your potentials, and promoting it consistently. In fact, that is the major area where you have to work. Promoting it consistently. Promoting it means you show it. You tell people, this is what I can do. When you go for meetings, you stand up, you talk, you open your mouth, you talk. You communicate your values. When your boss is asking, oh, I need someone to do this, even if you don't know how to do it, get on your laptop and do the research. And tomorrow come and say, oh, sir, ma, I think I have an idea of how we can go about this. I read about this, and this, and I think I can do it. We can do it this way. Immediately you say that, you are communicating your skills. You're not just sitting there like a dummy. You're not just sitting there as an accountant pressing figures. You have something you're bringing to the table beyond figures. So as an accountant or a finance professional, we have two ways in which you can brand yourself. Now, when we are talking about branding, a lot of people think, oh, branding is just about people that have businesses, entrepreneurs, CEOs. No, that is not correct. I am pleased to tell you that we have 3 types of branding. 3 types of branding. I hope somebody is writing something. Number 1 is personal branding. You, Salif, you are a brand. Beyond where you work, beyond your office, beyond your country, beyond your organization, you as a person, you are a brand and you represent something. I can begin to name so many people for you that are brands. Nelson Mandela was a brand. There is nowhere in the world you will mention the name Nelson Mandela and someone will say, I don't know him. Or I've not heard of. Even my children that are just 10, 12, they know who Nelson Mandela is. Because somehow they have been able to teach them in school that Nelson Mandela is an hero or was an hero, or we can still call him an hero of Africa. He fought for the independence of South Africa, and he is a man to reckon with. So we don't even have to say Nelson Mandela works in social organization. We don't even have to say Nelson Mandela is from South Africa. Nelson Mandela as a name is a brand. So Salif as a name is a brand. You are a brand. You need to communicate your value to people. You need to let people know what you can do, your capabilities, your abilities, your potentials, your skills, your expertise. Not just hiding behind the table and say, oh, I don't want anybody to see me. No, the world has gone beyond that. We are now in an age and time where you have to show up. Not just showing up, you need to speak up. When you don't speak up, people don't know who you are. I don't know. I can't remember the name of, is it Brahma or what? The name of the person that invited me for this. I don't know. He just came across me on LinkedIn, saw my profile, saw some of my posts, and he came to my inbox, invited me for this event. I didn't mean I don't have a profile on LinkedIn. Will I be here today? No. How do you think I am here today? Because I am able to communicate my personal brand through my profile. If you go and check my profile, you will see details of me there. What I do, what I can do, what I can help you to do, what I can help you to achieve. I can help you build a strong personal brand as a professional, as a business owner, or as an individual. You know, I am able to communicate my brand. So I said we have three types of brand. We have personal brand, business brand, and corporate brand. Personal brand, business brand, and corporate brand. For people who have businesses, their business is a brand. Business, I'm very sure we are accountants and we are knowledgeable, we are learned colleagues. So we all know the difference between a business and a corporate entity. A business is just sole proprietorship and just a venture where someone is just managing. I am the owner of the business and just doing my stuff. Then a corporate organization is it can be an institution or a limited liability company. Like we all know, a limited liability company is a separate legal entity that is different from the owner. So your company is a brand on its own. And you need to be able to communicate the values of that brand. MTN, I know MTN is more common, that's why I'm using that example. MTN is a brand. First Bank is a brand. UBA is a brand. Zenith Bank is a brand. Those are some of the Stanbic IBTC is a brand. So all these organizations, all these institutions are called corporate brand. So I am going to do a recap. Three types of brand: personal brand, business brand, and corporate brand. But for the purpose of today's event, we're going to be focusing on personal brand. So now you as a person, as a finance professional, how can you brand yourself? You can brand yourself in two ways. You can brand yourself online or offline. I repeat, online and offline. Now, let me remove my goggle so that you can see my face very well. I'm intentionally removing it so that you can know we are here for serious business. I am here for those people who usually hide and say, oh, I am not a social media person. Let me shock you. The world has moved beyond that. If you are still on that age where you're saying, I don't use social media, I don't like social media, it's jobless people that are on social media, I'm very, very sorry to tell you, you are the one that will lose at the end of the day. Because you know what? Even employers, they want to know you beyond your CV. Because we are still going to that. That's under the offline branding. We'll talk about your resume, your CV, your elevator pitch and all that. But let's focus on this online. Employers want to know you beyond your CV and your resume. A lot of people lie. You know, they will tell you, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. By the time they get to work, they cannot do anything. And because they will not ask you to come and do it while you are doing the interview, most times they might not even know that you might not be able to do those things. But you know what? They can actually, employers can get your true personality from your online presence. I do not need to.
I think you are preempting. Now you are preempting my question. What I will do is, I'll definitely allow you to hold here. You have given a brief description of what branding is, ranging from the three types of branding that we have, and you are going more detail into.
We are supposed to have a question and answer session, yes. Right?
Yes. Just
I've forgotten.
Yeah, definitely. Let me just reiterate. I know you are so, you have so much energy. You want to take that energy into this, huh? But just to redirect again, I think let's go by the questions so that we will have that flow in sequence. You have already started preempting some of the questions that we are going to look at. Pretty much like you mentioned, we are not here to look at the technical nitty-gritties of accountancy or what we do, but really is to look at how best to build on other skills. You have touched on very important issues, which is to describe the different types of brandings that we have, which is personal, corporate, and business. And just to collaborate your information, a report which was sent in 2019 indicates that Amazon
We can't hear you again.
Close to 6 point something billion, just to tell you how significant, is branding. And I think now it is becoming apparent that branding is becoming the single most rewarding activity to take charge of one's career, one reputation, and your brand and your life. So I think your definition was really spot on in terms of that. But I will take it, that will lead me to the question which I want to ask, based on statistics that we have seen recently on Forbes, which indicates, it says it takes about 7 minutes to make the first impression. That's why you need to ensure that everything about your brand is top-notch, which you are just trying to say. When you are in meetings, to work. When you are, in public gatherings, at least make yourself like a top-notch professional. And most finance professionals are very good with numbers. But here, what we are trying to look at is, why is communication important in the process of building strong personal brand? Because you have already started talking about communication rather. Why is communication important in the process of building personal brand? Thank you.
Thank you. Like I have mentioned before, nobody will know what you have inside of you except to communicate it. So you can either communicate it through your online presence, or you communicate it through your CV, or you communicate it through your performance on the job. So what is important is you are able to showcase your expertise and skills, and you are able to tell people what you can help them achieve, the value you're bringing to the table. So it is now left to you to know how best you can communicate it. Just like I said, you can communicate it through your social media activities, and you can also communicate it through your job performance, how you relate with people in your workplace, how you perform your job, and all that. And what I was about to say before we started this question and answer session is that beyond what you can do at work, even employers now, they take the extra step to check online for your personality. Because you know what? There is a way your personality is going to influence your job. Or let me say, it's going to influence the reputation of the organization. So if you are very wayward online, if you post nude pictures online, or you post invaluable things, or you post things that do not really showcase that you are a finance professional, you are learned, things that are not just right. If you post them online, it has a way of rubbing on the image and the reputation of the company. And that is why the company or the institution or the organization you're working with will not want anything that will also tarnish their image. I remember a few weeks ago, I did a test in my place of work about social media management. And most of the things that are there is that you are like an ambassador of the organization you're working with. So you need to be able to represent yourself well online and be able to communicate good values on the online space, so that at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the reputation of the company you're working for or the organization you work with. I hope I'm able to answer that question, Salif. Hello. You are muted. We can't hear you. Okay.
Yes, I said you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay. It's very important that one is able to communicate their skills. Not only the technical
question, please?
Skills, not only the technical skills, but of course some of these soft skills that you have that is helping in strategic decision making.
Yes.
And any other support skill that you have, which is outside your core, it all builds onto your personal brand, which is very right. Basically, that will lead me to the next question that we have. After having to communicate this, can you help us with any steps that what could follow or should follow in creating a personal brand? Today, there is this young guy who wants to start establishing who establishes his own personal brand. So do you have specific thematic steps that can be followed?
Okay, yes, I do.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, please.
In the next 1 minute, I'm going to be summarizing that. So, like I was explaining before, I said we have two ways of building a brand, of building a personal brand as a career professional. Number one is online, and number two is offline. Now, online is basically talking about social media and the internet generally. So, the rule is that you find a suitable social media platform where you can communicate your skills, your expertise, and your values. I will recommend LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional platform that everybody should be on. Update and maximize, update and optimize your profile. Communicate your values through what you do, your content. If you have any other skill apart from finance skill like speaking, leadership, and any other skill that you think is going to add value to the society in general, you can communicate it through your platform. So LinkedIn is a very good place to start. I also recommend Twitter. Twitter and LinkedIn are very good places to optimize or to build your personal brand. And that entails a lot of things. You need to consider putting out a good image, a professional photo shot, something that is very presentable and not just something you just, a random picture on your phone that just upload and say, oh, just to put something there. No, you need to be intentional about the kind of image you put on your LinkedIn or on your social media accounts. And headshot is very good. Go to the studio, get a headshot with a corporate wear and upload it. Then your bio, update your bio, your educational, uh, your educational information, your work information, the past places you've worked. There's a way you can optimize your LinkedIn and it will look perfect for you as a finance professional. I think that's that about online. There's so many other things about that, but I won't be able to go into details. Now, another thing you can use to be another place you can build your personal brand is offline. I said you can build it online or offline. Now, offline is basically about three things. It's about your resume. Number one is about your resume. Number two is your elevator pitch. And number three is your performance on the job. I'll take it again. Number one is your resume. Number two is your elevator pitch. And number three is your performance on the job. Now, your resume, everybody, we know what a resume is. Optimize your resume as much as you can. Optimize means get the best of your resume. If you need to get a professional to write a good resume for you, please get one. If you need to sit down and revamp it by yourself, please do that. What is important is that your resume is top notch and is able to communicate your core values, your core skills. If you have additional skills outside finance, you can also add. You have emotional intelligence skills, you have public speaking skills, you have leadership skills, you have presentation skills, we have so many skills. You can add them and optimize your CV. Now, I said the second one is elevator pitch. I know a lot of us would have heard about what elevator pitch is all about. Elevator pitch is is like a statement that you can cover within 1 to 2 minutes. In fact, 2 minutes is too much. Between 30 seconds and 1 minute. Now, we call it, why do you think we call it elevator pitch? We call it elevator pitch because, for instance, you're working in an organization that has an elevator. And while you're in the elevator, you met someone. And you said, you exchange pleasantries, and the person is like, hi, how are you? Who are you? What do you do? And you're saying, oh, I graduated from Ahmadu Bello University. When I finished, and I proceeded. But I had issues when I was in school, but I just managed to finish. And by the time you finish saying all that story, the person has gotten to floor 5 that he's going, and he has come off the elevator. So what they mean by elevator pitch is something you can say within 1 minute. Hello, my name is Omobabiri Adiola Oshideko. I am a finance professional. But apart from finance and accounting, I am also a branding expert. I help people individuals, professionals, business owners to build a strong and reputable brand that can make them money. Simple. So within 30 seconds to 1 minute, you are able to tell us who you are. So we don't need too much of long story. So you're at every point in time, as someone who is ready to build a personal brand, your elevator pitch must be handy. Like it's something you have right here, wherever you are, even if they wake you up from your sleep, you are able to tell them this is it. Then the third one, which is the last one, is your performance on the job. That is a very good place for you to build your personal brand. How you relate with people, your social skills on the job, beyond the technical skills you have. Do you have empathy? Do you have self-confidence? Is your self-esteem intact? Do you have presentation skills? And so on and so forth. Do you have leadership skills? So all of those things, the way you are able to display them in your workplace is another way of you being able to build your personal brand. I hope I'm able to do justice to that.
Thank you very much. You did a great justice to that. I think the key takeaway in this is to establish the forms of personal brandings that one can do using the mode of online, using the mode of offline. Predominantly now, people use online to do personal branding, of course, but that's where people have to be extremely careful with what they do and how they do things online, because whatever you do may come to continue tomorrow. Yeah. And again, the second takeaway is on the offline. I think one of the key issues that we realize accountants most don't have is to have a stakeholder management, where you have to deal with all other respective stakeholders, including the board, including other satellite departments, operations, and others. So your interaction with these people basically helps you to sell your brand, because the word that they may recommend you, you might not be in all those places. So it's important for the offline to be considered, not only to look at the online, but the offline as well is something very important. And appearance matters. You didn't mention it. If you go now on LinkedIn and see Mama Minta or Minta, it's something else. So it's really very important that to consider that. But that will take me good. You see now, Adiola. So check out, for those who are on LinkedIn and want to know more on personal brand, you can basically log onto her and then at least send her a friend request. And with a click, she will respond. Okay, going back to the main issue. My next question would be, you are known to be a trained professional accountant. Today working with one of the biggest, if not the biggest, corporate in Africa or institution in Africa. What inspired you to be involved in coaching and
the network? We can't hear you again. Well, I think I'll just pick up the question from where you stopped. Okay, I can see you now. The network is good now. Okay, what inspired me? I think I've answered most of your questions. I've forgotten that it's supposed to be a question and answer session. I've actually answered some of your questions in between. So like I said, I love speaking. I love teaching. When I was in the university, I remember that I willingly go and meet people and ask them, let me teach you. Like, they did not ask me to come and teach them, but I always want to impact knowledge. And another thing about me is that once I know something new, I am always looking for who to teach. So that teaching talent or that teaching gift has been in me right from childhood. And when I grew up, I discovered that I think I want to do more, because I see the kind of hard work, just like he said, so people's online presence can cost them even at their pace of work. So I decided to stand in that gap to be able to teach people what I know about branding and what I know about personal development. So two things for me: I love to teach, I love to speak, and that is why I am here today.
Thank you very much. On that note, I would like to recognize the presence of some of our key members, the likes of Mr. Fofana, who is currently driving, I can see from the screen, and the likes of Mr. Musa Swa. You have the likes of Jajusi all the way from Kenya. And we have many of you guys who I can't name now. And just to remind you, we are here today having a webinar or a program on personal branding with our able guest speaker, Minta. I hope that when I get it right.
Yes, you did.
Thank you very much. And just to let you know that this program is currently being recorded. And again, we are sharing it live on YouTube. That's why you're seeing the number of some are, viewing from the YouTube as well. And you can access it through our YouTube platform. And of course, you can start sending your questions if you have any on the question and answer tab, where we'll have to take them and then relay them to Minta, or let me use Adiola, because I think that is simpler.
Yes.
Maybe you will teach me how to use the other name. Okay, so that leads us to our next question. What we have seen recently is most young finance professionals only pays attention to acquiring qualifications such as their masters, such as their ACCA, or the professional qualifications. And they give less focus on some of these soft skills that we discussed.
The network.
Important. Okay. Yes.
Okay. As an accountant or a finance professional, there's something we call technical skills and there's something we call soft skills. And you all agree with me that even in this age of time, when you go for an interview, they don't just ask you about the core of your job, which is a technical skill. They also ask you about some other things. Basically, the type of interview we have this day is the one that is a mixture of your technical skills and your soft skills. An example of your soft skill is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is saying, how well can you work with other people? What is your empathy skill like? In fact, let's not start from there. Self-awareness. Do you know who you are? Your strengths, your weaknesses, and that's why they will ask you, where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? Your weakness, what's your weakness? What's your strength? What are you doing to improve on your weaknesses and become better on your strengths? They ask you questions like, if you are not able to meet up with a deadline, what are you going to do? So there's a place of self-awareness, self-management, empathy, and social skills. Those are the 4 components of emotional intelligence. So they want to know, if you are here to work with other people, how best will you perform? Because we've seen cases where some people cannot work well with other people. They will put in their CV, teamwork, ability to work with group of people. At the end of the day, they will keep having issues with everybody they work with. And you will see people not wanting to work with them. They avoid them. They just want to dodge working with them and others. So they don't work. Employers don't want people who will come into the organization and come and cause chaos or cause problem, or people are not just able to get along with them. So beyond your technical skills, they will ask you, if you have a difficult boss, how will you handle him or her? Because difficult people are everywhere. They are inevitable. It's possible you have a boss or even a subordinate that is difficult. They just want to frustrate your life. They are just there to destroy whatever it is you're doing. How do you handle such people? If you are given a task, you have multiple tasks to do, how do you deliver? Do you prioritize, or you just you just do everything together? No, they want to know some other things apart from your technical skills. So my advice to everyone today is, beyond finance, IFRS, and all that, try and invest on your personal development, which is you acquiring some soft skills. I've mentioned quite a number of them here. I mentioned emotional intelligence. I mentioned communication skills. I mentioned leadership skills. Some managers are not leaders. There's a difference between a manager and a leader. And it's better for you to be a manager and being able to be a leader at the same time. Because a leader is someone who help people achieve results. You'll see, we've seen some cases whereby employers will ask people to fill a questionnaire about their bosses or about their manager, and you'll see a lot of odd remarks, bad comments. Oh, he micromanages us. Oh, is this? Oh, is that? Is an authoritarian and all that. So beyond you just knowing accounting and balance sheets, you also need to understand how to manage people, people management skills, empathy, self-confidence, presentation, public speaking, and so on and so forth. So it's very important we take it serious as much as we take our technical skills serious.
Thank you very much. To take our technical skills serious, but in as much as that too, we need other related skills to excel in our careers. And this is what we are looking for. And then the personal brand entails both sets of skills, not only the accounting skills, but other related skills to support you. And I don't know whether it is, or you have the saying in Nigeria, where it is saying Rome was not built in a day,
Yes,
which is
yes.
widely said. But if it starts there, if it stops there, I usually say that is an incomplete statement. The complete statement would be to add on, bricks will be laid every day if we want to accomplish our mission.
Yeah.
Or when they were building Rome, on daily basis, they lay bricks.
Yeah.
So on that note, what should an individual avoid in maintaining reputation or personal brand, in maintaining a reputable personal brand?
Okay. The first thing I will advise, we are talking about personal branding now. We are swinging in between online and offline. Online,
sure.
Avoid controversy. Avoid controversial contents. Avoid controversial content that relates to racism, ethnicity, politics, anything that is controversial. You all know it. We all know it. They are not healthy for you as someone who is building a personal brand. The same way it is in your office. Avoid controversy. Avoid it being a drama king or a drama queen that everybody needs to come around and come and watch because they're always displaying one thing or the other every time. Avoid it. Because when you're doing that, you're destroying your personal brand. You fight with someone today, another day you are having an argument with another person, another day they are giving you query because you did not do this and that, all those things as a way of eating up your personal brand. Another thing is, in the workplace, avoid gossip. This one looks like, what are we talking about? What's she talking about? It's as simple as that. Mind your business, do your job. Do not involve in gossip in office. Do not involve in trying to pull down other people because you want to be the apple of the eye of the boss, or you are trying to do high service. Just do your job. Do your job. Stop being in gathering of people where they tarnish other people's images, where they try to pull down someone or they try to destroy someone. If you're doing that, at the end of the day, you discover, you might think, oh, nobody knows. Oh, they did not see me. Nobody was there when we were discussing it. But it will shock you the day it will bounce back and it will backfire. So just do your job, be good, be nice to everybody, have a good relationship with everyone, and you will get it fine. So those are some of the things you need to avoid that can destroy your personal brand.
Thank you very, 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 very much. Avoid gossiping, which we know is rampant or in most of the environments when it comes to in workplaces. Thank you very much that we keep those things. And we have already gone 50 minutes in the program, and it was intended to be 1 hour. We have few questions coming in. But before we do that, I will recognize the presence of Mr. Ibrahim Adrame as well, who is one of the directors in our National Audit Department. So my next question would be, Madam, The Generation Z finance professionals are more focused in becoming leaders, which is CFOs, finance directors, directors of audits, and other related senior positions. How can personal brand help in achieving these career aspirations?
Okay. It's good to aspire to become CFO, finance director, regional finance manager, and all that. It's a good one. And I will encourage the Generation Z, even the Generation X, to pursue it because it's worth it at the end of the day. Now, some of the things they need to do, like I've been saying, you need to display your potential. You need to showcase, not display. You need to showcase your potential, because if you don't showcase that leadership, and that's why we said there are so many things that goes beyond your technical skill, leadership skill. When there is a group of there is a project to be handled, and everybody is saying, oh, they're like, okay, probably there is something that needs to be done, and you are 5 in the team, and they're still contemplating, oh, who should head this team? I'm not saying you should be forward, but you can say, oh, I think I can do it. If you allow me to do it, I think I will do it well. You know, you present yourself as a leader. So with that, you're showing people, you're telling people that you can actually do this thing, and you can even do it better. You are not someone that they give a responsibility and you say, oh, I don't know how to do it. I don't think I can do it. Can you just give it to someone else? You're already telling them you are not a leader. You don't want to lead people. You are not capable of being in that position. So if there is any opportunity for the appointment of CFO or a finance director, and your people there, your bosses, your superiors are there to recommend, that thing can stand against you because they think, oh, I'm not sure she can do it. I'm not sure he can do it. He's always timid. He doesn't have this good leadership ability. So at every point in time, you need to be able to showcase yourself as someone who is a leader, someone who is ready to do the job, someone who is ready to take the risk. You know, risk is inevitable in life. Every day, even going out and coming in is risky. So being able to showcase your skills and communicate your expertise in the organization where you work is one of the contributing factors to your personal brand, and that will help you to get to that position you're aspiring to get to. So that is the summary. I hope I am able to do justice to that as well.
Definitely. Take the risk, communicate your capabilities to increase your brand.
Yes.
I think it resonates. Definitely, it resonates. And now we have few questions coming from the box. And there is this guy, Momodu S. Fati, who indicates, hi Salif, can you ask whether is key to win, sorry, what is key, or what is the key to win your audience or interviewers in the first minute of your expression? I know we are not in an interview, but it's more of selling yourself now, presenting your personal brand. I hope you get the question right.
Yes, I do. So
perfect. Over to you.
It's simple. Your elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch. I tell people you will have different pitches for different occasions, depending on the audience, the caliber of people there, or depending on the event, or depending on the arrangement, the process. So let your elevator pitch always be handy. Just like I said, I am going to give everybody here a gift. I'm going to give everybody a free ebook. It's just, I think it should be like 5 pages. It's not much, something you can consume within 30 minutes. It's a gift from me to you. I wrote the book, just a summary of what you can do. So in that book, I talked about elevator pitch very well and how you can write your own elevator pitch. So just make sure that your elevator pitch is handy. And that is what you can use to win the heart of your audience in the first 1 to 2 minutes of an interview. It's as simple as that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. And then you have really not this, which is your elevator pitch.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of brand experts talking about this. I think it is very important people to start looking at this.
Yes.
Improve on your communication skills so that you can just easily convince people by selling yourself. Yes, then our next question. I know we have already concluded all my questions, and then the time has already close to an hour. But we have two final questions that we need to ask before closing. The first is, how does someone determines that you have established a reputable brand? How will you recognize that you have already established a reputable brand?
Okay, at the point you begin to attract attention. You begin to attract attention. People are checking you out. They're asking you, oh, I checked your profile. I love what I see. I love you. I love your personality. I love the job you're doing. I love the way you presented during that board meeting. I love the way you comport yourself. When you start getting positive feedback from people, then you should be rest assured that you're doing well. And you should keep doing well. You should keep improving yourself. So I think that is the point. That's the turnaround point when you begin to know that, yes, you're really doing a good job in building your personal brand as a finance or career professional.
Thank you very much. And then that attraction doesn't only mean that people coming to you, but of course, sometimes you can ask for feedbacks for people to know, and which is very critical in assessing your personal brand. Thank you very much. I think we have spent so much time, very vital time. But there is one question from Pa Malik, who is our technical guy behind the scene. I was thinking he was not following because of working on the technical. And he says, what tips can you share in building your LinkedIn brand? Which a lot of people are poor, including myself. When I reached out to you, I started working on my LinkedIn page. And I looked at yours. I said, wow, I wasn't selling myself. You know, and when I changed few things just 2 days ago, I had results. Yes, I have started attracting attention.
Yes.
You know, and this tells you how important is building your LinkedIn brand is. Yeah. So over to you.
Okay, it's a lot of things. I think Salifu is in the class where I teach LinkedIn, and it's a lot of things we cannot discuss here within 1 minute or 2 minutes. So what I would just say, I have a class. I think it's a $3. I think it's even less than $3. It's like $2 class, very cheap and affordable, like something you can just close your eyes and pay. So I think I have a $2 or $3 class where I teach people about that. You get a lot of information on how you can build and optimize your LinkedIn. So I call it LinkedIn optimization class. So after this class, if you're interested, I don't know if you have a WhatsApp group or anything, Salif can just help me drop my WhatsApp number, then just reach out to me, or I send the link where people can pay for the class. Let me just send the link to you. People will pay for the class and the journey. Even this ebook I want to give you, the ebook is also going to be available in that class with additional 3 ebooks. I'm going to be giving you 4 ebooks in total, just for $2 or $3. So if you're interested in that class, just get in touch with Salif. I will send the link to him. Just come on board, and just like he told you, by the time you change 1, 2, 3 things on your profile, I tell you, the way you will begin to get feedback from people, even you'll be feeling happy within yourself. So it's very important we all optimize our LinkedIn profile. It's very, very important. Just like I told you, if not for LinkedIn, I will not be here today. A lot of new people that I'm meeting, especially Salif and his other person, I met them on LinkedIn. And, you know, the past few days that we've connected, it's been very, very interesting and awesome. So, you know, you get to meet a lot of amazing people, professionals, and even beyond your country. I am in Nigeria. I'm talking from Cote d'Ivoire, and you see me talking to people from Gambia, Kenya, South Africa, and all that. So it's very interesting, and it's very important to optimize your LinkedIn. So that is just the information.
Okay, thank you very much. I have just shared her LinkedIn profile, and Amalik did that for us as well. And you can definitely reach out to her. There are a lot of things that you can learn.
Yeah.
If you start making money from your, you know, LinkedIn or making it on your WhatsApp. So lucky me, I entered the program without paying $1. Huh? Let everybody else check that. Thank you very much. And finally, before we go, what would be your advice to the young professionals who are in this platform? And I believe this will not be the last time that we'll be engaging you, maybe in different forums as well. But what will be your final words before we move to the next agenda?
Okay, my final words to everyone is be intentional. Be intentional. If you did not understand what we have been saying all for the past 1 hour, if you are not going to go home with anything, you need to go home with this weekend, and you need to keep pondering on it. And the word is be intentional. Nothing happens suddenly. Be intentional the way you showcase yourself on social media. Be intentional the way you do your job in your office. Be intentional the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you communicate your values, the way you communicate your expertise. Be intentional. Let it be like it's a deliberate thing you want to do, not just that, oh, try and error. Let me try this if it is going to work. After this one is not working, let me try this, or something just happens suddenly. Nothing happens suddenly. Even your promotion will never happen suddenly. It's an intentional process. It's an intentional and calculated effort. So wherever you go as a finance professional, as a career person, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, or as an individual, be intentional the way you live your life. So that is my parting word to everyone this evening.
Thank you very much. Be intentional. Communicate your capabilities, your elevator speech. These are all things that we can learn from today. And then let's go back. And the slogan would be intentional. And let's try to communicate our capabilities. Madam, it was very interesting and fruitful to be with you on this platform. And like I said, it is not going to be the last time that we engage you. And then I know still there are questions that are coming up, but we at least have agreed with you, and you are 3 hours ahead of us. You offered to give us this class for free to reiterate. And definitely we appreciate all this. And what it says is, let everybody go back and develop yourself. Opportunities come every day, but it depends on how prepared you are to take up these challenges or to take up these opportunities. So if you are not prepared, it passed. And if it passed, it may never come again. So let's try to at least get that first chance or first hit to make it happen. So on that note, I will move to the next agenda to allow Mr. Musa Sua, if you are around, at least to give 1 or 2 words as a closing reminder. And then before I forget, you haven't seen Ibrahima online. He really wanted to be with us today, but unfortunately, you know, he had some travel delays. He was on